As you can see, I'm Steve Newton. I work for Finastra as the Digital Transformation Lead in our Partners Ecosystem team. Before I get into a little bit about myself, I was asked before I came over here by a couple of my friends and colleagues. They said, Stephen, what were you more nervous about? Was it flying halfway across the world, standing in front of a room of hundreds of people, talking about a subject about yourself with potential for questions at the end of it, all things kind of curveballs, or standing at your wedding, surrounded by friends and family, giving your speech to everybody around you? Hands down, has to be my wedding, because I know my mother-in-law isn't at the back giving me a heckling. I've worked in the digital transformation space for about 20 years, always working on bringing solutions, new tech, to customers in retail, in hospitality, and recently, within the last 3.5 years, working in the fintech partner space. As I mentioned, I work for Finastra, and just to kind of frame a little bit around what Finastra does, we're a market-leading fintech provider, providing solutions to multiple financial institutions throughout the world. Finastra works with 45 out of the 50 biggest banks. Fantastic. But you should consider that throughout the world, there are over 10,000 different financial institutions. A massive marketplace for us to bring software and solutions to help drive your customer engagement. So, as you can imagine, massive piece of work, lots of opportunity for us to expand into. And unless, of course, we hire a sales team of 5,000, we're going to need to use partners to really drive that experience for us. Finastra has traditionally always worked with partners, most likely indeed most of the time, working in the direct sales and using a partner to implement the product itself. And so about 4 years or so ago, we set out to create a brand new partner program, the Fusion Orbit program. We set about to create 4 brand new routes to market that would really open up the way for us to engage with consumers throughout the world. We created the reseller program, using partners to resell our products in countries, regions, demographics where we didn't necessarily have our presence in place. We had our managed service partners, so being able to provide a lot more for an end customer, infrastructure, first line, second line support. OEM partners, so being able to take a white label version of our product and then being able to use it as their own, acting as the partner acting as the sole source of the client's contact. And then finally, a fully fledged affiliate program. These partners would then fall into 3 separate categories of implement partners that we'd obviously worked with quite successfully beforehand, as well as our referral and fulfillment partners. Now, as you can imagine, 10,000 clients, 10,000 places for opportunity, selling multiple different products. Lots of partners and different partner types to come on board. A massive program that involved hundreds of new partners being recruited each year, with our targets for revenue being doubled year on year. So we needed a robust system in place to support our partner journey, first of all. Now, this is a really important slide, because I'll be referring to this quite a lot, because your partner journey frames your partner experience. So, everybody has a partner journey. Some of you might have 2, some of you might have 10, and everything in between. For us, our partner journey starts in the discovery phase. We're looking for partners are looking for us. What does that interaction look like? We identify a partner. Partner thinks, hey, we think there's an opportunity here, we want to take advantage of it. We'll move into the qualify phase. Fantastic. Right, we'll have some further conversations. All being well, we then sign on the dotted line, work with the contracts, get that all signed up, agree business plan, targets. So they move into our commit. Then the fun really starts. I mean, all of this is fun, I'm sure we always agree. But then we move into the onboarding phase, where partners get enabled. They go there to sales training, technical training, have access to marketing content, have access to technical documentation with the product teams, everything that is going to enable them to get them off the ground and start securing deals. Partners then move into the activate stage, and this is when partners are then, we're working with them to help secure that first deal to fruition. Maybe 1 deal, 2 deals, whatever the partner feels comfortable with. And then finally, the scale stage. Partners are then free to become fully fledged members of the ecosystem. They can go out there, sell with confidence to prospective clients. Each one of these stages has different requirements in order for them to progress from one to the next. And at each point, our digital platforms are providing the best experience possible to support them. So that's a little bit about our partner ecosystem. The real question that was everyone's lips: what makes a great digital experience? There's a number of things to consider straight from the beginning. First of all, you want to be thinking about how partner engagement drives partner experience. We've heard already a lot about that experience, haven't we? We've heard from Tiffany around this, around how that experience looks like and how well engaged you are. And you can apply that same logic to your day-to-day interactions as well. How well do you engage with a website, a supermarket, your cars, whatever it could be? You need to think about your digital experience as your partner journeys with you. It's not as easy anymore just to say, well, I've got a partner portal, that's great, I'm happy with that, they can move on to the next thing. No. Where is it that you want to get to, and what do you want to achieve? What's your goals? Do you want to scale? Have you got an existing program? Are you brand new into this? Is it a startup? What do you want to achieve from your digital experience? A really important piece, and I'm so pleased to hear it from the previous session, was that even if you understand your partner journey, your partners might not. So think about that. Log into your platforms, log into what that looks like. How do your partners engage with you? And then finally, data-driven decisions and feedback are your friends. My God, don't we all feel like that when it comes to the end of year review and you have to ask for feedback and you're like, oh, I don't think I want to see it. We shouldn't shy away from this. We should be looking at what that data is telling us, what our partners, our users, our account managers, everybody that interacts with it. So, where I come into play is that I was set about 3 years ago to create a digital transformation that would support the growth of the ecosystem that we were wanting to build. I came in, as I mentioned, we'd already been working with partners, fantastic. But I came in and the transformation, the digital platforms, everything all kind of worked, that experience wasn't necessarily the best. So, who can hopefully relate to this? We have a partner portal, fantastic, tick, wonderful, great stuff, done my bit, that's wonderful. But then you suddenly go, whoa, hold on a tick, I need marketing content. So I've got a platform over here that does that thing for me. And then you go, I've got sales training. And then you go, I've got a place with demo software as well. There's another system that they need to log into. We've got a place for our technical documentation because we don't want to put it on the partner portal. We have another space for it, so my technical team use it. I need somewhere for my partners to be able to access MDF and being able to get those development funds ready to go. But along with all of that as well, I'm suddenly thinking, hey, what am I going to do about content? What's going to be relevant for partners? How do I know where I put one thing to another? What's going to be right, what's not? And then I've suddenly got to think about partner communications. I've got to talk to these people now. What's going on? Why what am I happening? Then we want to automate it. So many things now. I've suddenly got all of these balls flying in the air. How am I going to be able to automate this? And then finally, oh yeah, I should probably get some data about this, shouldn't I? Probably should understand what's going on, what they're looking at, what they're engaging with. The very first thing that I set about when I first started at Finastra is making sure that we have a central hub for all of these items that would become as important to us as Amazon's website is to them. So that's why we made sure that the partner portal was at the heart of everything that our digital experience provides to our partners. So, how do we go about doing this miraculous thing? So, first of all, I will preface this by saying that the digital Rome was not built in a digital day. It took time and effort and investment for us to be able to get to the place where we are. And what I'm talking to you about today is not about throwing lots of money at something and hoping that it comes out with something at the end. It's just being able to take that step back and looking at the platforms, your experience that you're providing. Are they going to do what you need them to do? So we set about creating an 8-stage workflow for us. Understanding what we needed to do at each one of these stages. First of all, self-evaluation. We needed to have an introspective look, first of all. We wanted to look at, will our partners provide us with the growth that we need? How are we providing content to partners at the moment? Very good point, was the first thing for us. What are we doing? Are we just using our partner portals, a SharePoint site? We're just loading content in there, hoping things get there? Sales and technical enablement. How are we training our partners? Is it effective? Are they looking at it? Are they engaging with it? Are we seeing correlations between the sales training that they're completing, to registering deals, to completing deals? How are we communicating to partners? Has anybody actually stopped to go, hey, are we getting the right things? Are we getting the right message to you? Are you seeing the things that you're looking for? Do you have a two-way street? Is it just, hey, listen to me? Are we able to talk to them? And finally, feedback. What are we seeing in the industry? What's our suppliers telling us? What's a partner telling us going on? Or whichever supplier you may be using. What are our partners telling us that they seem to work well with any of our other competitors? So, armed with a bit of a self-evaluation, eating a bit of humble pie, we then go about looking at that data collection. Now, very much as I've always mentioned, data is your friend. Data is your friend, not food. Famous quote. We use tools at our disposal to paint a picture of the digital journey for our partners. What did that look like? Where were we seeing that engagement? What were partners looking at? What our user base looking at? The insights helped us not just to be able to go, oh great, everyone's logging on to DealReg. Of course everyone's logging on to DealReg. That's the most important part of the page. But which partners are engaged with us? Which ones are actually coming back into logging in? We're hearing something saying, yeah, we've got a really great partner, they're always engaged with us, fantastic. The data says none of them have signed in for over a year. So what are they doing? What's going on? What are we missing here? We also spoke directly to our account managers as well. What are you expecting to see on there? It was wonderful that we were sitting here as a team trying to go, okay, we'll put this on here, we'll put that on there. What were they expecting? So, armed with self-evaluation, armed with data collection, we then set about to create our strategy that sits behind this. We needed to focus on what were the goals of the partners, the partner ecosystem, and for the digital team itself. No surprises, we created short, medium, long-term goals. But we also wanted to do quick wins. That feedback that we collated gave us those quick wins to drive enthusiasm. Now, it was a very important word that I used there, rather than engagement. We wanted to show change. We wanted people to say, do you know what, I'm always looking for this document, I can never find it. Brilliant, it's there. We communicate it out, we'll tell everybody, oh, wonderful. Build upon that momentum. It was also important, given the scale that we were looking at as well, that we wanted to drive self-automation as well. We wanted to invest in tools that would make things easier for just the partner, but also for us as well. A number of partners coming on board, we don't have the time to always be sitting there approving requests. And coming back to what I was saying as well, with the overriding concept of how does our partner journey support the partner's digital experience, those 6 stages, how does our strategy help along with that? Wonderful. Right, I've got my strategy in place now. Let's move on to user experience. To create the best experience possible, we did put investment into the user interface, but then as a team, as a collective whole, we then looked at that journey mapping. Again, a really wonderful piece that I want to talk about on that previous session, understanding that journey. What does that look like from when a partner registers versus, hey, how do I get to the deepest, darkest content that's in the partner portal? What does that look like for every single user? As a digital team, we also created those cross-functional groups to get that feedback. It might be so easy, isn't it? Great, I've got a team of 3 people, I know what we can do, we can make this all happen. No. I needed that feedback from everybody. I had my goals, but I needed to make sure that the people that were working on the ground day in, day out were telling me what was going on. And similarly as well, working with partners, every time we're assessing a change, every time we're looking at a journey, every time we're making user interface changes, did they like it? Did they not? Did they think it was cleaner? Did they not? What does it look like? Now, Wonderful. We've spoken about user interface. Lovely. Nice fluffy stuff. We always like nice and pretty things. I love a shiny thing. It looks great. But content management is pivotal when it comes to getting engagement and experience through your platform. Remember all that slide that I had with all the balls on there, saying all your different platforms? We set about to make sure that all of the content that we were providing was going into the right place. What's the relevance? You don't want to put a sales document that usually would always have to sit on a sales enablement platform, sitting in some obscure place. Oh yeah, no, it's not there, it's over here. No, instead you want to make sure that you set out clear guidelines around the types of content that you're going to provide, where they go, the value that it's going to bring as well to your partner. For every piece of content that we put on as well, we had a review cycle in place, and if applicable, explorations as well around it. As you can see, if those of you using InPartner, this is not an InPartner asset piece. As I mentioned, we use multiple different platforms as well. But in our sales enablement platform, this is how we enable to make sure that our content management is always up to date. We don't want out-of-date content on there. We also communicated that we would use our digital platforms as the single source of truth when communicating out to partners. If any of you have been in the startup phase of a partner ecosystem and things are changing, you build your playbook, you go, right, our joining fee is $30,000. Oh, suddenly it's now $40,000, but actually you've got an account manager that's sending out something that's a bit out of date. What an awful experience that is. To suddenly like, oh, can we get a discount? No. Put all of your content into a single source. Let your partners know that's where to get the information from, and let your account managers know that same as well. Communication and engagement goes hand in hand, doesn't it really? I've always said that you can always build the best car, the best hotel, the best holiday, the best platforms. But if you don't shout about it, how will anybody know? It's going to be word of mouth. Oh yeah, there's a partner portal for that. Oh, there's a platform for this. Oh yeah, I heard about this. No. You want to be able to communicate this out clearly and succinctly. So we set about to create a simplified marketing plan. Now, I use the word simplified because that's what we just needed. It's so easy to get into the details so quickly around, right, we're going to do this kind of webinar, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, whatever it might need to be. You just need consistency. Once a month, people will feed in their content, feed in their information, and we'll be able to showcase to our partners consistently our messaging. We also made sure that our entire ecosystem bought into what we were providing. We wanted them to buy into what we're selling. Hey, you want to communicate out to partners? Come to us, we'll communicate it in one voice. You'll get the very first edition of the newsletter that goes out, so there's no surprises when a partner comes to you. We want to drive your enthusiasm, again, that's that word. We want to drive your enthusiasm about what we're providing to partners, and we want you to have the first sight of it. Now, you can use any platform that's out there, that's available. We've traditionally used Marketo, but we also use InPartner's two-partner marketing, and we're about to start using the news and social on demand as well. Really great tools for you to be able to send out information easily. Now, automation. I'll take us through a little bit of a number of automation examples actually around that I have. But as I mentioned in the beginning, automation was pivotal as part of our digital strategy. We wanted to make sure that we weren't sitting there approving user requests every hour, creating a negative experience for our partners because they're waiting to get access into the system. Each process was manual, first before evaluating if the automation was going to bring that value. It's all well and good to go, yeah, we can just automate that. And actually, you might miss some very important steps along that way. So we wanted to make sure that what we were automating was going to be relevant. And then we explored how we can use automation to drive engagement to our digital platforms. It can just run in the background so we can always make sure that we're always still communicating at the easiest level without a very light touch. And then finally, coming back to that continuous feedback, it was important that throughout our transformation we're constantly listening to what our partners are saying. We asked for direct feedback from our partners. We asked for feedback from our account managers and provided a channel for the wider team to be able to give us their feedback. There's a little survey which is Office 365 forms, tell us what you think. So that's what you want to see in the future. We also built in partner surveys displayed when logging into the partner portal. Now, for those of you that are also using partner, you'll notice that this might look a slightly different survey. We have a slightly different setup in that we have a digital adoption journey working in the background to help with this as well. But you can just provide a survey right on the page. Just go onto SurveyMonkey, get the nice easy one, something simple. We wanted to make sure that when we completed our transformation, it wasn't just the end. It's the beginning again for us to make sure that we're providing the right information and the right solutions to our partner. So, those are kind of 8 stages. Like I said, digital Rome, not digital death. It took us some time for us to get there. This is something that needs investment, that needs your time and energy and effort to really step back and look around what's important. Now, I brought this slide back up again as well, because the digital experience really is made by the digital for the partner journey. So I'm going to take you through a couple of examples of where our digital platforms help support the partner. So the discovery phase, right in the beginning. Finastra.com is used as that gateway for our partners in order for them to be able to access what it is to be a partner of Finastra. We want to put our best foot forward. We want to show the scale of the partnerships that we work with. Every partner that we have goes straight onto the platform as well. This is who we work with. Prospective partners can find out about our partner program, the focus, the regions, what's in it for them. They can access a playbook that sits behind it as well. And at every point as well, a call to action. Reach out to us to find out more. Somebody be on your touch. We'll get that information. We want to partner with you. Now, all being well, we've had the discovery phase, we've spoken to a partner goes, yeah, great, we think you're right for us. The partner then moves into the qualifying and commit phase. Now, we discovered very early on that between Finastra.com to when our partner then gets access to the partner portal in onboarding, there's a gap. How do we communicate things like what it is to be a partner that requires maybe a bit more confidentiality? What's required of a partner at each one of these steps as well? What's going to be necessary for them? How can we host some recordings as well? I don't know about you, but the amount of files that get blocked with when I'm just trying to send a Teams meeting request. Where does that go? We use our partner portal with segmentation in place to create separate pages that would only be accessible to our partners if they were in the qualifying commit phase. Perfect. These partners can log in, they'll see what's relevant to them, they'll see the meeting recordings that they have, they'll see information that's pertinent to them and the products they want to work with. Without giving away our secret sauce too much, it sits all inside, and it's a wonderful exposure for our partners to the digital ecosystem that are about to receive. Now, all being well, the partner is now signed on the dotted line, they want to be a fully fledged partner with us. Fantastic. They move into the onboarding, activate, and scale phases. Brilliant. In here, they get access to the full partner portal. Now, again, we wanted to make a user experience that was going to be clear and concise for the partner. From here, the partner can access their sales training, the marketing platforms. I already mentioned, we don't use the partner's sales training, we don't use their marketing platforms. But for a partner's perspective, they can log in here, access the content straight away, use single sign-on, click the link, whatever it might need to be, in order for them to get to the content that they need at the right time. We also show all the good stuff as well that comes along it. Events, we want them to register for the events that we host. We want them to see the latest news that's going on in the ecosystem. We want to shout about something new that we've launched as well. Brilliant, we'll put a place on the homepage that will rotate around every month. Again, simplified marketing calendar, all fits inside it. What's this month's highlight going to be? So this is our partner portal, and this shows, hopefully, how our digital channels can help support our partner's journey right from discovery through the qualifying commit into onboarding, activate, and scale. And what we provide at each one of those points. We really took the time to think about that journey and what was going to be necessary for them at each one of those stages. So, spoken a lot about what we've done, the journey that we went on, how our platforms look like. I want to talk a little bit about partner engagement, automation. What does that look like as well? Cast your mind back. 100 partners every year, more as a target. Lots of users coming on board. Lots of requests for us to approve. We might be getting ones in the middle of the night, then waking up to an email in the morning saying, hey, I've not got access yet, what's going on? We put all of our partners that were approved front-loaded into PRM. We took that time, we took all of those partners that we were talking with, that we had contracts in place with them, and we put them into the PRM. This meant that when a partner and a user from that partnership logged in and registered for access, they immediately got into the partner portal itself. It removed that manual effort. I wasn't having to sit there approving it, having to check off spreadsheet to make sure they're on there. I know we front-loaded it. So the partner accesses the partner portal. Fantastic. The moment they do that, they get the email, which I'm sure all of us have all seen in one shape or form. Here's your temporary password. Fantastic. Log in. We give the partner as well a little snippet of what else they can look for. That point that a partner wants to log into the portal, what is it they want? Actually, I'm looking for my sales training. I'm looking for the marketing content. Brilliant. Well, here it is. The moment they log in, a workflow then triggers in the background to then send an email. Congratulations, you've taken the first step in your digital experience by logging into the platform. We know the partner's logged in, we know that they're looking around, we know we want them to explore, fantastic. But we want to stay in the ear of that partner. We want them to still have that content in the inbox. We want them to go, look back afterwards and go, oh right, oh here's my policy then, right. After 90 days my password's going to expire. Okay, we do register with this. I should have seen it straight away. But they can access things like the marketing platform, the news, building sales pipeline, useful tools straight away from them. 90 days after their first login, we then send them a reminder. Hey, the password's expired. Now, we set about to put a 90-day password policy in place. Obviously, very good practice for everybody in the room, thoroughly recommend it, because it's very important for you as well to make sure that you're keeping your data secure within the partnership. I think we can all appreciate that. You suddenly work with a partner, they bring on 20 new sales exec, and all of a sudden, 6 weeks later, there's only half of them left. So it's important for us to be able to make sure that we're keeping that data safe. We also, when we send out this information, we'll be able to start seeing if that email's bouncing. Are they there? Are they not? What's going on? I set out straight from the beginning that we want to start understanding what our active user base was. When I first joined, we had 6,000 users on the platform. My God, I was like, this is incredible, there's so many people. There's lots of Salesforce contacts that have just been incorporated into this. That's not clear. So instead we set about to engage with everybody that was set up, who's actually an active partner, and I got a much more realistic view of who is actually logging into the platform and actually using it. 1,500 odd users. I took a bit of a step back, there was a few questions. Hey, how come we've gone from 6,000 to 1,500? I know that those are active, engaged users, and that's my user base, and those are people I need to build upon. From there, brilliant. I've sent out my email, 90 days into it. Okay, they've still not logged in. A reminder that sits in the background. Again, a workflow. In Partner, I've got a wonderful library of how you can set this up yourself. A little bit of self-help guide, although I'm not very good at following the recipes, but I'll tell you this. A 6-month reminder email. It's been a little while since we saw you. We just copied and pasted this and created lots of interesting little different information that we can provide to our partners. Similar one to the very first one that they received as well. It's been a while since we saw you. Don't forget you can do your deal reg. Don't forget you can access HighSpot to get your marketing content. Don't forget you can do your sales training. And then finally, again, if we're still not seeing that user come back as well, an 11-month account deactivation email. Hey, we've not seen you for a while. We know that you're busy. We know that things are happening. But we're just going to deactivate your account. That's not to say we don't love you. We know you're still there. But we're just going to deactivate your account for you. You want to come back to us, no problem at all, we'll reactivate it for you. You haven't lost anything. But it still makes sure that our account information that we're providing to our partners is still being secure, and that we can still see who our active user base are. Now, I've spoken a little bit about a live example that we have within Partner, and now automation, robots are coming, they're going to take over our jobs, everything. I want to take you through 3 examples of of how automation really can help and how it's really saved a lot of effort and time for me. Single sign-on. My God, don't we all love this? Actually, I've got one account, I use it at home, I can log into all my separate different platforms, perfect, I don't need to remember it. Take that same application and apply it to your platforms. With single sign-on, we use our PRM to access the single source of truth. Data is passed from PRM to the other connected platforms and profiles are created seamlessly. Sounds really simple, doesn't it? The live example I have around this, our sales enablement platform, again, 2 separate platforms. But before we had a fully fledged single sign-on between the two, users that were logging in, when they logged into their sales enablement platform, were not seeing any content. That's a rubbish experience, isn't it? Hey, I've logged in. Is this right? Here's a screenshot. I don't think this is what I'm looking at. Instead, we use the PRM to create that profile through single sign-on so that when the user logs into the sales enablement platform, they would see content that's relevant to them straight away. Ah, brilliant. Here's all my product information. Here's everything that's relevant to me as a route to market. Fantastic. My God, that was seamless. It's like magic. Next is deal registration. Now, this one's a really useful internal process for us, but provides a lot of satisfaction to our partners that we take, that when they register a deal, we take that seriously. So a partner registers a deal, fantastic. They get an automated notification. Brilliant, we know that you've logged the deal. We have a direct connection between Partner Portal and Salesforce. Some of you may have HubSpot, some of you may have other platforms, whatever it might be to be. The Partner Account Manager also receives an automated email. We put this into Salesforce. They get the same email that the partner gets, but they also get an automated one in Salesforce. We also use automation to then escalate it. If the account manager hasn't reviewed it in 48 hours, reminders, goes to their boss. We want to show to our partners just how important it is that when they look at a deal, which we know they're going to be working on, that it's not just getting lost on the sidelines while the partner account manager is working with other partners. And then finally, another one that we had was partner software requests as well. Our partners, they're looking for demo licenses and for resale licenses as well. We wanted an opportunity for us to be able to, our partners, to collate that information, send it through to us what they required. So we created a form in Office 365. Again, there are other operating systems out there. But we created a form in Office 365, a public form that we could use. We embedded it into the partner portal. When I say embedded it, we created a nice little page. We took the URL for it. The partner just needs to click on it. The feedback from that is then immediately emailed through to me and my team for us to get the ball rolling. It didn't require lots of crazy config work, lots of bespoke development, out-of-the-box functionality. Now, spoken a little bit around, quite a lot actually, around digital experience and what that looks like. But I wanted to show some of the data that hopefully backs us up around how our experience has helped drive partner engagement. Yes, absolutely. You know what, I fully appreciate as well that as we're building out a brand new ecosystem again with those lofty targets, that we are seeing that engagement going through. But we've very much gone from the build stage to the run stage. So, year on year, I'm always seeing an increase in my partner engagement. Partners are coming back to my platforms. They're looking at the content that's there. They're engaging with the tools that's available to them. Finastra's digital platforms also rank within the top 10 for all of the industry, partner range and revenue range. If you have one of those partner portal health checks afterwards, I'm sure you'll be able to get one of these things. And, I must say, last year we were number 1 in industry as well for account engagement. So just like Liam Nielsen says in that film that I've never seen, but I've seen the memes about it, I will find you and have a chat with you about it, I guess. There's 3 key takeaways that I want to just impart to everybody around this. First of all, get the most out of your provider. Now, like I said, I've worked in the industry for 20 years, bringing solutions to customers in all of that. But I could not have done half of this without understanding from our suppliers what was best in practice. Now, I'm not just saying that was just a partner, I'm saying that about all of our sales training platforms, I'm saying that about our marketing platforms. We use their expertise to understand what was going to work, what wasn't, or what other people in our industry are doing that we can take advantage of as well. Seek feedback. Talk around. See what your partners are saying, as well as your teams and your direct and indirect teams. The amount of conversations that I've had with indirect teams who are saying, yes, we work with a partner, or I provide content to the account manager, but I don't know how it gets there. Have that conversation with them. Say to them, well, I've got a partner-facing platform for you. I've had many conversations where people just go, can't we just open up our SharePoint site? Maybe we won't do that. Maybe we'll just open up like internal systems straight away, because we've built and invested into digital platforms that are there for a partner singular experience. And then finally, the end is also the beginning. Now, standing on the stage, it sounds a bit odd saying this, a bit crazy. But don't just concentrate on the middle. Think about what happens when you get to the end of that journey with your partner. What is it when they're in that scale stage? They're fully out there. What does that look like? Yes, they feel free to fly amongst themselves, but some of the strongest partners that we have are the ones that are always staying engaged with us, even though they know our products inside and out, even though they're dealing with clients and customers on the daily. Think about that beginning as well. What does that full circle cycle look like? What happens with partners right in the beginning, all the way through to the end? Wow. Thank you ever so much. This has been fantastic.
Just a few minutes for Q&A. Can I start, please, selfishly? So, on your partner journey, was there a more challenging step over the others? Where did you guys find as you evaluated that journey? What was the most challenging for you to overhaul?
Absolutely. For me, it was the onboarding stage. Now, ironically, I know for a piece on there on the takeaway saying, the end is the beginning. It was the onboarding stage, because that was where we were going, yeah, great, we've got the partner portal. Oh yes, I've got an account manager going, hey, I'll just send a link to the sales training platform. Oh, I'll send them a link as well to the technical documentation platform as well. And you sit there and you go, well, hey, if I don't know about these things, how on earth is a partner meant to know about it? How is a user base meant to know about this? Let's stop doing that. Give me a day, give me half an hour, whatever it took. I will put a space for this on my platform for us to be able to direct our partners to that and make sure, again, it's a bit of a quick win, rather than going, well, I don't know how to get to that technical stuff, it doesn't matter. It lives there. You can access it through the platform. So absolutely, the onboarding one is the most challenging, but the most fruitful one that came out of it.
Thank you. Other questions? In the back, Yola, would you mind?
Hi, that was great.
Thank you so much.
Hi. Are you using any sort of chatbot to provide Q&A for your partners?
No, we're not actually. Really great question. No, we're not. I'd like to explore some of them, but no, we don't have a chatbot for some of that stuff. Some of the stuff, I must say, we're quite a bit old school. We like to ask our partners to, email in, but we give them that feedback. So on our partner portal, we've got like a self-help page, a self-service page. Again, like I mentioned, some of those links, some of the FAQs, and we just have a section on there that says, "Still can't find what you're looking for? Drop us an email." So it comes to me and my team for us to be able to look into it. But no, you're right. I love the little chatbot. They can just do all these things for us. It'd be fantastic. So I'm sure it's on the partner's roadmap, right?
Other questions? We'll hear first.
Hello, Adina.
Hi, Stephen. One quick question. In your qualification stage, do you actually stop the process in some cases, like someone gets unqualified?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really great question. So when we opened up the partner portal, we created this prospective partner portal for us. We opened it up to those partners that were in qualifying commit phase. Now, absolutely, some of those partners just don't progress. We think it's going to go in the right direction. It's a bit like an interview, isn't it? Really, you have your first one, and you get the second one, the third stage. But sometimes it just doesn't pan out to the way you expect. So for those partners, absolutely, we deactivate their accounts. We can also track their engagement. It's a really nice one for us, because in that prospective partner portal, it's a really useful place if you're having conversations around contractual items. You give the partner the standard contract that you have, and in there it's reference 30 different documents. Host it on the partner portal, this prospective partner portal. But it's a really great one for you to then go, well, I've given them the contract. None of the users that we've set up have actually logged in. So how are they reviewing it? it gives you a really great kind of like, litmus test around like, oh, okay, are they actually engaged with us? And then yes, we have this conversation with the account manager. Unfortunately, that partner didn't proceed with us. No problem, just deactivate them.
That's a follow-up.
Sorry.
Do you do anything with them after you still talk about it?
I think so. I mean, for us, yes, absolutely. For our partners, if we feel that there's, a relevance still in there, it might just be a case of some partners we may not necessarily talk to them if we go, well, actually we've now got a bit more of a direct sales presence, or maybe they're not just not as mature what we're looking for as well. And that's a really valid piece as well. We set out very clear guidelines at each one of those stages around what we expect from the partner. So for those partners, for instance, we might say we need 10 sales executives, 5 technical certified people. We want 2 marketeers as well, brilliant. But then when we actually maybe come through to it in that qualifying stage, we go, actually maybe your business isn't quite ready for the scale that we're looking for. But do come and talk to us if you do get to that page. What can we do to help support you? We want to empower, we want to enable people. If we've got people into that stage, we must see a good fit for them. Sometimes it might not work out, but how can we get them going? Hello. That light is so bright. I'm so sad. It's all good.
I'm seeing your numbers go up.
Yeah.
And the challenge is that because there are more partners and people just naturally, are you doing anything to drive that activity? So our problem is, build it, they will come, doesn't work. So what was sort of the best ways that you can continue to keep people engaged? Do a newsletter? How do you, and then the sort of second part of that is how do you stop, you referenced the account manager from just sending them a link to this, or just sending them this instead of saying, go through the front door.
Yes.
I'm not going to give you a ladder to the window.
Yes. No, do you know what? That's such a great question because you're absolutely right. Like I said, we had massive growth. You're seeing those partners come back. We had the first 2 years really as a kind of a build phase. We're building up those partner ecosystems, we're building those new partners. And where we are at the moment is very much our own phase. We haven't got such lofty targets, they're not quite so, such a massive scale of them. And you're absolutely right. How do you keep on them coming back? And again, it kind of comes back to this feedback around what is it that you're wanting to see from your partner? What is it they're expecting to see? How are you shouting about it as well? But also, sometimes, while it's wonderful to have the data, have that feedback, some of it you just have to throw it to the wall and just see if it sticks. You've got to just understand, okay, we think this is the right thing. And again, I said it before, eat a bit of a little humble pie if you go, actually, maybe that didn't work quite so well as I thought it was going to. And that's okay. You're absolutely right in that, how we want to communicate it out to. Take that time for you to think about your communication strategy. What does that look like? Okay, right. I've got somebody that works on sales enablement for my partners. What is it we've done this month? What is it we want to highlight? What do we want to talk about? What's going to be relevant to them? Do we want to send it out to all partners? Do we want to say, hey, here's an update to a specific product that's not going to, it's not going to be relevant to 95% of the population? No, that's not going to give a great experience because they're going to go, every time I get this newsletter, it doesn't work. You want to make sure that you're targeting your right audience about this information. Some of it is also getting your account managers on side with this. Like I mentioned, no one really likes surprises unless it's a birthday party, in which case sometimes that might also be a bit terrifying. But as well, you want your account team to be engaged with it. You want to be able to say to them, right, okay, this is what's launching, communicate this out to your next partner at their next QBR, your next review session, whatever it might need to be, to say that this is coming. We want to see that engagement. And then look at it afterwards. We launched something 3 months ago, did anybody come back and look at this? So yes, so sometimes it's a bit like, okay, do we just put it on the homepage? Do we communicate it out? Do we put it on the newsletter? Do we send out a single shot of information? You've got to hopefully gauge what's going to be relevant and what's not, because otherwise, it's like you get the emails that are like newsletter updates from, Target or Costco or wherever it might be. People are like, I live in an apartment, I don't need another lawnmower. So,
great, thank you, Stephen. Really appreciate that. Round of applause for Stephen.